Hello Capricorn. Oh, creaky desk. Thank you very much for joining me, Lorian, at Tomes and Tarot. This is going to be your August general reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising signs. If you do want a specific reading with information, especially for questions that you have, just click on the link to my website in the description box below, or you can email me, loriantarot@gmail.com. If you can't afford a reading but want to show your appreciation, I also have a link where you can buy me a coffee. So there's all the information you need to know as to how to contact me is in the description box. Let's have a look. I also wanted to take the time to thank you for all your comments and your support and, you know, leaving the little messages. It really does make my day, so thank you so much. Alright, so let's see what's coming through for Capricorn. Whoa, hello. Oh, we've got 3 here, so you would have been first. 6 of Pentacles, High Priestess, the Hermit, and the World. Wow. Okay, so you have pretty big cards this month. Let me just move this up a little bit. Okay. So this is quite a good set so far. It's got a really nice feel to it. The reading that I did last was pretty intense, to be perfectly honest. So I'm very glad to see that you've got such a nice reading here. This desk really is creaky. So what I was looking at here is basically the fact that you do have 3 major arcanas in a line. Seems like it might get a little bit complicated towards the end of August, but ultimately I think that you're going to kind of improve yourself in a way. I mean, this is what it feels like to me. Because we are in Mercury retrograde still, so you need to be aware of all the things that could crop up. For instance, the issues with communication, electronics, emails, stuff like that. So do just be aware that it's still going to happen around the 20th of August. But as far as I can see, there's hope here. There's generosity that's coming in. I'm actually going to start with the High Priestess. So this is very much about unconscious awareness and the potential, having a mystery within you as well. So it's basically to try and pay attention to everything that's coming to you. Look at the signs. Tune into what it's saying to you. Tune into what things are kind of being told to you in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's just something that you feel like there's not enough signs that you can really translate, there'll always be something. Synchronicities come through in many different forms. Synchronicities happen, you know, every single turn. It could even be that you think there's a coincidence, but it's not actually a coincidence. It's something deeper. And I think that you need to really concentrate and have that awareness refined, I think, maybe for August. So that's just something that I feel coming through here. It may be different for you, where you feel like you've already been seeing some signs. Follow them. I think that this is all about a journey. The Hermit often comes up with a little bit of a bad reputation, I think, a little bit, because people say, oh, I don't want to be on my own, I don't want to be all like boring or solitary and stuff like that. They're kind of missing the point of the Hermit. I think this is about guidance and, you know, being strong on your own and by yourself. You have the wisdom inside of you. It's there, ready to come out. It's something that you can work on. It's something that you can build. You have talent. You have tenacity. You have a big heart. You have something that you want to give to the world. You have something that you want to do with your life, even if it's just affect the lives of your loved ones with some kindness. That is important, and that is going to work for you. I honestly believe that. Introspection is going to give you a lot of answers. Introspection is actually going to be healing for you too, because if you've been searching for answers, then, you know, it's going to be healing to get those. So I do feel that spiritual development is very much about your endings in order for things to begin, because that's kind of what the world means too. So the world is very much a card about accomplishment and fulfillment and having the feeling of, right, I can do this, I'm feeling very good about myself, I can be, you know, whatever I want to be, I can, you know, anything that you really want to feel like. I've just looked at the clock, by the way, and it's 4:44, so ain't no number. Even if you feel like you want to be involved with people or things that, you know, you need to become slightly raised in your career or something, you can still do that. You can still have that. I do feel like there's something that's coming through and saying there's like this release for you, and I do feel that there's balance coming in, but ultimately this is accomplishment of one goal in order to go into the next. So you're shedding your skin almost in order to be the next person. But in the meantime, this is the end of the month, this is the beginning. So this feels a lot like you have got this generosity going on, the giving, the charity of things that are coming through as well. So it honestly feels like you're getting a good deal, but maybe that you can pay some bills back. You're equaling the balance, or you're giving to somebody who you kind of, how to put it, you kind of owe them. I think that's what I'm trying to say. You kind of owe them for this. You owe them this sort of time, or they owe you this time. Either way, you're having some kind of deliverance back. Okay. Chariot. Then we have the Knight of Wands. Then we have the Nine of Swords. And then we have the Moon. Right. I'm just going to shift this chair a little bit. Oh. This has just decided to go really, really creaky today when I've decided to do some more readings. So apologies if you keep hearing my desk creak. Let's have a look. So it's about, okay, another major arcana in this one now. So it does feel like you're kind of trying to have some self-assertion, hard control. Your victory is on its way. It does feel like there's a culmination of a lot of things going on for you. So don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad. It feels like you just need to make sure your head and your heart are in unison on this one. So don't make any compromises that will harm either one. Make sure you are fundamentally in tune with what each is telling you. Your heart's telling you one thing, your mind may be agreeing in a different way. Pay attention to it. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Well, this is about passion, lust, and adventure, so there's a lot of creativity that's coming through here. You've had the idea and you've had that enthusiasm with the discovery that maybe, you know, the signs that you're getting are saying, yes, go ahead. Maybe it's something that you're wanting to travel, because this can actually indicate travel or a relocation. I feel like your soul purpose is coming up a little bit more. You're connected more to this life rather than the ones that you've left behind. Because sometimes that karma can really put you off. You know, you're seeking guidance and you're still focused on what the lessons were before. So you just need to focus mainly on the future and put things to rest. Even in this life, if there are some things that you've been bugging you, like a previous relationship or something, put them to one side. And I honestly feel that you'll do better for doing that. And then we have the Nine of Swords. So again, it could be that you're afraid to let this out. It could be that you're afraid to be alone. Either way, don't lose any sleep of it. There's a bit of anxiety here, and I think it's unneeded. You know, you're loved, you're needed, you're cared for, you're cared about, people care for you. It's just a case that you need to really define that within yourself. What does that mean for you? What does being cared for mean? And I think that you also need to make sure that, you know, despite anything that may have gone wrong, it wasn't maybe your fault. Or if you were at fault, you're not, you know, you've learned from that, you're moving on from that. So that's something that I think you need to either forgive yourself for or put to one side. And then we have the Moon. So the Moon can mean sometimes that there is some subconscious coming through. It could also mean that there's a Cancerian involved. But I do think there's a little bit of imagination going on. Don't let it take away from the kind of focus that you need. For instance, don't let something, oh, look, this is like spirituality, wee. You know, make sure that you're actually focused on it rather than just kind of going off on one. Not that you really do that, Capricorn, you're very solid, but sometimes we can be so focused on the higher chakras that we forget about the bottom ones and forget to be rooted. And then we have the Eight of Cups. So you may be deciding to leave something. Put something behind you, leave something. I also feel like this is something about maybe you've put a lot of time and attention into it, you've put a lot of effort into it, and you're just deciding now, actually, this has to change, I need to go now. But it's kind of, you may be disappointed or you may be okay, I'm contented with this, I'm moving on now. So I think this is all about the change within you coming into the fore and actually making you feel a lot better than you have been recently. Okay, so let's see what's coming through here for you guys. This is the Oracle card, so what's coming up for Capricorn in the month of August 2018? We need to know. Alright, so you are ebb and flow. So again, maybe don't have some rigid control. You know, this is what this chart is all about. You need to you maybe want to hold on to the reins. But then I think there's a career change coming through, or certainly a change of goal. And I think that you just have to go with it. Go with what feels right. Trust your instincts. If you need to move, move. If you want to change jobs, change jobs. If you want to go on a trip, please find a way to do that. Even if it's to the local park when you know it's going to be quiet, or even if it's somewhere, just feel like you are developing or feel something. You know what I mean? You don't have to be too worried about things, you don't have to be too drawn about things. I think that you just have to be quite, you know, just kind of breathing out and just letting it flow, just like the air you breathe. I think there's got to be something that you just let go of first. It's the ebb and flow of life, to be honest. But let me know in the comments below how things go for you. I always love hearing about them. Like I said earlier, it really does make my day. If you do want to leave a comment, you can also check out the website below for personal readings for any questions you may have, or to buy me a coffee. In the meantime, I wish you all the very best of luck. Take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you guys soon.